calling from Melbourne, Florida.
Good evening, David. You've reached a winning team training
How
call.
you?
Oh, man, good to hear you this evening. I see you found the right number this time. I got the right one posted up,
Yeah,
but I'm sorry about last
yeah. I
week.
wasn't. Yeah, I wasn't. I wasn't home, and I wasn't near the computer, so I couldn't fix it. I had what I had posted on my phone.
Yeah.
I was at a basketball game right after surgery.
All right. How'd your surgery come out?
It's good. I'm walking around. I was out digging a trench yesterday,
Well,
out in the backyard.
you must be doing good then.
Yeah, I just used my other foot.
Oh,
I'm here too, Mike. Dave and I must have come in on the same
y'all
ding.
must have hit the same ding because I didn't hear but one. Glad to have you in here, Don. Good to hear you. Uh, how are you
Hello,
doing today?
everybody. Oh, can't complain. You know, nobody listens when you do.
It never did me any
I
good,
had a
so.
rough day. I had a rough day between GoDaddy and my the host that hosts my domains,
Uh-oh.
but we finally got it straightened out.
Well, I'll tell you, it's been my experience that GoDaddy has some excellent customer service representative people. They have always been very good with me, and then I'm kind of technically challenged a little bit sometimes, and they've always been able to work things out for me and get it all working. So I don't know what trouble
Yeah,
you
I
had,
had
but
to call for it, but they we got it straightened out.
I've been using them GoDaddy folks now for shucks. I don't know about as long as I've been on the internet.
Yeah, I've been with them forever. I knew Bob Parsons back before he even started GoDaddy.
Yeah.
He had a software company.
Uh
He
huh.
built a financial piece of software and sold it through the shareware marketing method.
Yep. Seems like I remember that.
Yeah, I just started a domain.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Mincy'sGreenTech.com. I haven't got the website built yet, but I just started the domain.
Well, that's the first start, I guess.
Now you asked a question. You said you was going, what did we all do today to help our business? Well, I can answer that on my end.
Okay.
I did a coaching call for an hour, and I did another video for an hour, and I did another listening video, recorded call for an hour, and I learned how to do some stuff on Facebook, how to write articles and get people interested and stuff like that.
Well, you have accomplished a little bit there today. You've done great. That sounds great. And I know what Dave does. He's taking a nap every chance he got today, but he hadn't had too much of a chance to take a nap today.
You mean
I've been
Don or
busy.
Dave?
No, Dave, and then Don just shared with us he spent his time with GoDaddy and his domain host, whoever that is. So,
Is there another Dave on here?
oh yeah, there's another Dave on here tonight. That's Rev Dave
Okay.
up in Akron, Ohio.
Okay.
We pronounce it Snowhio.
Well, you can keep the snow part. So,
Well, you probably got some of that stuff we're getting headed your way then. We got
Yeah,
another blast.
well, y'all just
it's
keep
getting a little.
it up there. Me,
I
We're
am
supposed
sick
to
of
get
winter. I
nailed
know
Sunday
that.
night into Monday too, with a
me and
lot.
Dave Bryan, we kind of like we like the weather we've been having. We don't need we don't need none of that snow down here anymore. We had our share for this year.
Well, we've had ours for a couple of years.
Well, actually, we probably had ours for the next 10 years now. So, oh, man.
Mike, I'd like to broach a tender subject if you don't mind.
All
And
right.
I'd like to warn everybody. There's a movement in the net, in the online business arena, for legalized cannabis for medicinal purposes. Do not be fooled. It's still cannabis, and it still will. People are going to buy it because they think it's going to get them high, and when it doesn't, the bottom will fall out. So I'm just warning everybody here. If somebody approaches, you can say, "Oh, you can't get high from this. It's for medicinal reasons, and it treats seizures, and it treats headaches, and it helps with weight loss and all that." Don't believe it, because the bottom's going to fall out. That was just my word of warning.
Okay.
Well, I thought I heard that there's an MLM out there pushing cannabis.
Yeah, I heard the same thing.
There is. I've seen ads for it on the exchanges, and they're saying, "Oh, this isn't to get high. This is to use for medicinal reasons, and it's legal in all 50 states." Don't believe it. The police are waiting for them to deliver it to your house. It's a hoax, and people that believe this are just as foolish as I am. So, but I'm not going to be taken, and I'm not going to. I've had about a dozen people reach out to me saying, "Oh, this is great stuff because it'll help with seizures, and it helps this poor girl who is having 300 seizures a day." I'm thinking, if she's having 300 seizures a day, she needs to be in a hospital.
Yeah.
Not taking cannabis. So, you know what I mean? It's ludicrous. And was it W.C. Fields, Mike, that said that line?
No, it was P.T. Barnum, the line you were thinking about.
P.T. Barnum, I'm sorry. Yeah, there's a sucker born every minute, and they're thinking, "Oh, I'll use this for medicinal reasons," and Yahoo, and they're bigger fools than I am, and I'm no fool. So,
well, I believe that P.T. Barnum had it right. That's what keeps this industry going the way it is.
Yep.
There's a sucker born every minute, and there's a scam born every minute for him.
Yep. You're right. And unfortunately, I think I see them all, but I am intelligent enough after 40 years to avoid them all as well. So, and stay away from them.
Same here. I feel blessed with the intelligence to know what to avoid.
I just saw a post on another chat room that Bitcoin is now insolvent, so don't put your money in there either.
What was that?
I wasn't going to.
Bitcoin?
I wasn't going
to.
Oh, Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bitcoin. Yeah, I've heard a lot about it.
Apparently the CEO absconded with a whole bunch of Bitcoins and with a whole bunch of money and disappeared off the face of the earth. I wonder where he went. Maybe Tahiti.
Yeah, I seen that guy's video. I didn't fall for that. Yeah.
My first reaction when I first heard about Bitcoins was virtual money. Oh boy, don't that sound like that's going to be worth a fortune.
Oh, me. Virtual
As a matter
money.
of fact, I just seen one today on IBO Exchange, I think, where they were giving you free Bitcoins just for joining this. And in the reasons to join, it was saying how the price of a Bitcoin has gone from, practically nothing to $1,000 now, or $10,000, or whatever it was, and they're going to give them to you.
Yeah.
What was that line from P.T. Barnum, Mike?
Barnum was right, wasn't he? Oh, man. I saw on IBO Exchange today, I saw somebody advertising Bitcoin. So.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of them on there, and there's another one called Verticoin or something.
Yeah, I've seen that too.
It's just unbelievable.
Unfortunately, and that's what we're here to fight against. Keep this
Yeah,
keep this industry clean and running the way it should run. And that's the type of people that create bad reputations for this industry. That the industry doesn't deserve it, but there are a few people out there that do create that.
yeah.
Yeah, I've met quite a few of them.
Oh,
I ain't
not
gonna.
to change the subject, but I talked to Michelle today, and she said to tell everybody hi. She hasn't quit. She's just kind of going to take it easy for a while,
Well, yeah,
and she's still available
I
if
understood that.
anybody needs help or anything. Just contact her on Skype.
Yep, I understood that, and she made it plain today on I guess in the lounge there. She stated that she was still available to help anybody that needed help. Good evening. This is Mike
Uh,
in Georgia, and you've reached the winning team training call for Thursday evening. We're glad to have you here. Please tell us who you are and where you're calling from.
It's Sandy in North Carolina. How y'all doing?
Well, good evening, Sandy.
Hi, Sandy.
We are glad to hear you in here tonight.
Glad to be here.
I got a
Sandy, thanks for the nice comment you made on my PR the other day. I appreciate that.
Oh, Reverend Dave, that video is a riot. I mean, it really is funny. And Doug and I were just standing there laughing at it, and we're saying, "This is really sad. It's true."
Yeah, it is. But I appreciate you commenting on my PRs, and I've tried to recompense when I could.
Oh, thank you.
No problem.
I did have a subject I want to get into tonight, but I was going to kind of drag my feet and wait for a little bit, see if anybody else comes in here because but I do want to talk about it tonight, and we got some great people here to talk with that are knowledgeable and can help us. The reason I want to talk about it because I want to get it on recording so that we can have it posted where other people that don't get a chance to make the call can come in and hear it too. Don, you mentioned it in the somewhere today. I saw. I know it was you that mentioned something about the why someone should. Well, actually, here with the winning team, we actually promote that people actually start out as a yearly member rather than a monthly member, and if they can, and why they should upgrade from a monthly member to a yearly member if they, did start out at the monthly. Monthly is great if that's the best way you can get in, then that's great. Get in. That's the most important thing is get in. But I do want to talk about a little bit why we recommend that people start off as a yearly member, uh, and we can y'all keep that in mind and think about it. And here in a few minutes, we'll open that subject up and talk about it some, so that even people that don't not on call tonight, but will be able to hear the call later, and they will try to understand maybe why. And it is important.
Yeah, that was Darren Dowd that had asked that question uh, about why should he encourage his downline to upgrade to 3-star.
Yeah, I think you're right. That was Darren. Uh, I'll go here and Darren's one of our newer members. Not not brand new, but one of our newer members. But he did come in, of course, at the 3-star plus level or yearly plus level. Y'all should be able to see the screen. I do have the screen share up and running. If you're logged into the screen share, you should be able to see. I brought up part of the matrix here. Uh, but like I said, I do want to discuss that here in just a few minutes. I was kind of waiting to see if somebody else might want to come in and join because we had encouraged everyone to encourage their new members. And that's what one thing we need to do, and we need to do with Darren and a few of the others that seem to be a little active, but they need to start tying into these calls. Yeah, I know these calls. I'm not the greatest speaker in the world, but we do in our conversations we do manage to pass along some valuable information, useful information, and things, and it's really beneficial for new people that can come in and become active quickly that way and engage. That's our word for the month, isn't it? Engage. So we need to encourage people that especially when they come up and ask us questions like that these calls is a great place to ask those questions, because then we got people that can answer them, and they can get answers from two or three different directions, and perhaps satisfy their need there. Before we get into that, though, is anybody else got anything they want to talk about? Dave, I kind of jumped in there and answered a question for you. I'm gonna give you an opportunity. Dave Whitmer, uh, what'd you do for your business today, Dave? I know what all you did today, but what did you do for your business? What did you do to move things forward?
I talk to people. I talked to a lot of people. I tried to be friendly. I tried to build a relationship with them without mentioning business of any kind. I tried to let them know that I was a real person with real feelings, and that I'm trying to make a difference in the world. And basically, I just tried to make friends. To me, you have to make friends before you can broach the subject of business. If you don't have the person's trust, you won't be able to get headway with them anywhere. Um, I used to think people used to follow people. I don't believe that anymore. I believe people follow courage. If they see you're not afraid to talk to them, if they see you're not afraid to be transparent, if you're not afraid to say what's on your mind and be real with them, they won't respect you and they won't follow you. And I think that people follow courage. That if they see that if it's business as usual, they won't follow you. And if they see the same status quo that 90% of the networkers have, they won't follow you. And they're looking for that 10% who wants to go out of their way to help and to make a difference in your life, not necessarily theirs. That's what I did today.
Very good. You did something, and you struck a chord right there that I'd like to bring out. A point I'd like to bring out. Uh, I've been reading a book. It's an older book. It was published back in the 90s, and it's called Raising a Giant, and it was written by a Amway Diamond. Uh, his name was Robert Crisp. I've met Robert Crisp, knew Robert Crisp back in the years when we was in the Amway business as well. Robert Crisp had a organization with a downline of over 200,000 people in it, uh, and he was rather successful. He made a lot of money in the business. Uh, Robert Crisp was sponsored by a former Major League Baseball player called Bob Bolin. I don't know if any of y'all remember Bob Bolin or not. You might not be as old as I am. But anyway, he was a former major league player, and after he retired from the major leagues, he got involved in network marketing, and he became rather successful himself. And a friend of Robert's one day just asked Robert. He said, "Robert, I want you to come over and have lunch with me. I've got a friend of mine I want you to meet." And Robert said, "Okay," and they came over and they had a nice lunch. And Robert met Bob Bolin. Bob Bolin struck up a friendship with Robert, and over the next 2 or 3 weeks, they played golf and this and that and other, and one thing after another. And Robert Crisp kept asking Bob Bolin what he did for a living. How did he make his money? Because at this time, Robert wasn't all that successful. In fact, he wasn't even in the networking business at the time. But he kept asking Bob Bolin, what do you do for a living? How do you do for, And Bob Bolin didn't tell him. he he politely talked around and beat around the bush and put the subject off for about 3 or 4 weeks. And then after 3 or 4 weeks, Bob called up Robert Crisp and said, "Robert, I'd like for you and your wife to come over one night and sit down. I want to show you what I do and how I make my money." Of course, Robert had been chomping at the bits, to actually get that information. Uh, Seemed like Robert was in the insurance business. He was in the insurance. He wasn't real successful at the insurance business. In fact, he was one of the. I think out of 50 salesmen, he was number 50 in this group. He wasn't doing all that great. He wasn't somebody that you would actually think of to go out and prospect. But Bob Bolin used what was called a curiosity approach. Curiosity. In other words, he didn't just come out in first meeting. He didn't jump all over Robert and said, "Robert, I got something that'll make you $1,000,000 and you're gonna get rich, and we're gonna do this and that and the other." He just kind of, just like when you go fishing and you throw your line out there and you see fish nibble at your bait there, the bobber moving around a little bit, and you kind of pull back away and tease that fish until that fish gets to the point where he's good and mad, and he just chomps down and bites. Well, that's what Bob Bolin did with Robert. He just teased him along until he finally, when he come down to the point, he said, "Robert, I want to show you what I do." Robert was more willing and ready to just get right on it. And so, you know, Bob Bolden sponsored Robert Crisp, and Robert Crisp proceeded to build a networking business. And like I said, he built an organization of over 200,000 people. Uh, I know Michelle has tried to teach us what we call relationship marketing, and building that friendship first, building that relationship with people, so that and get to know them and know about them, and you know act and show that we are interested in them and what they're doing, and how they go about it, and how we can help them, and how we can help them become successful. And when we do that, then we've opened the door for us to be able to sit down and show them exactly what we do and why we do it, and what we have to offer that's going to help them build their business. Uh, anyway, it was rather interesting, and Dave kind of hit on that. He went out today and he met people. As he met, he talked to people. But he didn't just go out there and jump on everybody he saw and say, "Hey, I got a business. You need to get in this business. You need to get rich." Uh, he was relationship building, and sometimes you have to go 2, 3, 4 times. Like I said, Bob Bolin, he brought Robert along for several weeks before he actually shared with him what he had. And if probably if he hadn't done that, if he'd have just jumped on Robert to start with, then Robert probably would have rejected it and gone away, and that would have been a huge loss for both Bob Bolin and Robert. So that's something to keep in mind. That's what makes networking a strong business. Because we build relationships, and that's what these calls are about, is building relationships with our team and building a team. Uh, Anybody got any other comments? Somebody dropped out. Is anybody still here besides me?
Mike,
Yes.
I'm here.
um, we of course, talk to people. Thank God now more than last year. Talk to people every day that we don't know, and they call about houses or just in general.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't we haven't talked to a whole lot of people about our online business, but there is in the conversation generally something comes up after you meet them and you've known them a little bit. You start talking about other things you do with your life, and so we kind of gently get it in there. And I just call it planting a seed. It doesn't, it doesn't happen
That's a good
maybe
phrase.
this year, maybe next year, but you plant the seed.
I have.
So,
Go ahead.
so I feel that just as Reverend Dave says, and I know we've been talking about this for over a year. You build a relationship and get to know people a little bit. And when I was in another business years ago, it was said, they talk about people who throw up all their business all over you, when you meet them.
I've heard that phrase.
But it's a pretty vivid picture, So, but that is the trouble. And there's a lot of people in IBO that do that. They call you on the phone, and usually they leave a message, and it's all about their business. I don't care. If I wanted to join your business, I would have called you. So it's just, I don't know.
Yes.
But it's the relationship building. It's so important.
That's something.
But that's my 2 cents.
That's something we can all learn, is relationship building. Good evening. This is Mike in Georgia, and you've reached the winning team training call. Please tell us who you are and where you're calling from.
Yeah, this is David Mincy. I got disconnected somehow or another, so I'm back now.
I knew somebody dropped out. It must have been you. That happens.
That was me.
That happens sometimes. Well, we're glad you made it back.
Yeah, I'm here. I was out on the. I went out on the relationships while you was talking about relationships.
Okay, well, that's really about all we've discussed in the meantime, was relationship building. That's what makes this a strong business. That's what makes our team strong, is the relationships that we build among the team members. Uh, which is, there again, I'm saying all this is a point. That's another reason to invite people in to these calls, so they can get to meet other people and learn other people. Invite them to the chat room. Anybody that you sponsor, and I notice some people that they sponsor people, but they fall short of introducing them to the winning team, introducing them to the reason it's good for people to go to the winning team and fill out that little form. It's not anything complicated to do, but it gives me the information where we can make sure that we got them added to the chat room and Skype, and that we have contact information in case we need to contact them and stuff like that. But the chat room is a really good place, and I know I'm speaking to the choir here, because almost every one of you are pretty regular there on the chat room. But it's a good place that we, especially for new people, we want to bring new people in, because that's where they can, first of all, they can meet people, the other team members, and things like that. And second of all, if they got questions, they can throw questions out there, And there's almost always somebody out there more than willing to answer that question. Which that's this call is just more or less an extension of the chat room. It's a place where you can come and ask questions and get answers, or sometimes when you got answers, you can give the answers, and we'll find questions to fit them. Uh, anyway, uh, I, I want to go ahead and talk about why do we as a team, why do we as a winning team, we recommend that people join as a yearly member. Uh, Don, I'm gonna throw it over to you and let you talk about that just a minute, and then we'll go around the room, and then I'll finish up and explain why I think it's a good idea.
Okay. Well, I believe it's a good idea for several reasons. One being, I hate monthly payments. I hate them with a passion. By joining at the annual level, you avoid the monthly payment, plus you save, I believe it's 20% by paying annually. And then you're never bothered with having to come up with that $9.95 every month. Also, by joining annually, you automatically come in at the 3-star rank, which puts you into a position for bigger commissions. You also get the matching bonuses that you don't get at the distributor level. You go deeper into the matrix. There are quite a few pluses to coming in at the annual level. Do you have any more, Mike? I'm sure you do.
Well, yeah, just a little bit, but I'm gonna throw it around and let other people put their 2 cents in too. Sandy, let's you. How do you feel about the yearly level and why we recommend people come in at the year level? Now, it's just like I said before. If monthly level's the best they can do, then that's absolutely great. Come in at the monthly level, get your feet in, get them wet, and we'll help them build to the point where they can get move on up. But we really recommend people come in at the yearly level. And you have any comment on that, Sandy?
I agree with y'all. I think the monthly level is just a nuisance more than anything else. But as you know, Mike, I wasn't able to come back as a yearly member. I'm going to definitely do that as soon as possible. But I think with SkyForp, it's really the only way to go. You do save money, and you don't have the monthly payment, which is a pain in the neck. So I agree with you. I think the benefit of just being a 3-star is worth it, and definitely is the way to go.
Alrighty, and yeah, we understood your situation there, and we're glad to hear it's going to start getting better.
Yeah.
Let me, Dave, are you still with us?
Yeah.
No, Dave. I'm sorry, Dave Whitmer, Rev Dave.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm still here. Maybe the other Dave would like to say something.
Well, I was going to let you add a comment or two, and then I was going to give it over to him.
Okay. Yeah, I like the yearly because after usually the first month or two, you're already in the black for the rest of the year. Yeah, it's all gravy from there. The nice thing about I get direct deposit. I get it into my bank account the first Wednesday of the month. And as a result, my bank does not charge me service fees at all for my checking account because it says I'm getting a direct deposit. Therefore, there are no transaction fees, there are no check fees, there are no fees to use the ATM card. and I like that a lot. I like the fact that I don't have to worry about money being in my account on the 10th when they draw out the service fees because they don't do it for me because I'm free. I like that a lot. And I like the way Stifle pays us, where you can get a check or you can get a online deposit. It's very convenient and it works well for me. I like going to my computer in the morning and saying, what does Stifle pay me this month? And it's usually a pretty nice sum. Usually enough for me to take my wife out to a very nice restaurant for dinner. So that when I tell her this meal is on Stifle, she likes that a lot. So it's important to keep the ladies happy.
Absolutely. And that you just brought out a very important feature. Now I don't know if every bank does work like your bank does or not, but that is a very important feature. A lot of banks, if you have a direct deposit coming into your checking account, then they don't charge you fees. They forego the fees and stuff, which isn't a just a little bit, but it's every little bit counts there. Uh, uh, Dave, Brian, Dave,
Yeah.
have you got any
Well,
comments or
since we got
questions?
in a, well, my comment is I would have probably signed up for the year, but I had financial issues and I had to have surgeries. I just had to have shoulder surgery and knee surgery, and I don't have the downline. I'm too new to the business. I don't. I don't think it would be feasible for me to do the yearly thing with no downline yet.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna explain to you why it would be. I am gonna tell you that I'm not asking this question or I'm not posing this out there to single out anybody and everything. And I did know that you came in at the monthly level, and I knew why. Me and you have talked about it. Uh,
Right.
and I'm not singling out like I said, if the monthly level is financially the best option for you, then by all means do it because get in. However you have to do it, get in. You're not gonna make any money until you do. So, but the reason we talk about uh, and promote people coming in at the yearly level and or upgrading to the yearly level as soon as they can, as soon as it's feasible, uh, is of course Don mentioned several of things, and Sandy did. You first of all, you don't have any monthly payments and everything, so you don't have to worry about it. A lot of times when you sponsor somebody in a networking business and they're coming in with big ideas and visions of making big money. In networking, you can make some big money, but most people don't right off the start. Usually have to work and build a team or something like that, and before you start seeing any good substantial income coming. So a lot of people when they first come in the first month and they've paid money out, and the first month comes and goes by, and they don't really see any substantial income at the end of the month. They get a little discouraged, and then the second month comes along and they haven't the group's beginning to grow, but it hasn't grown quite you know as substantial as they had visioned at first, and they don't make as much money. They probably get a little check, but the check is just that little, and they get discouraged, and the next thing you know, you never hear from them again. They're gone. They drop out. They disappear. So one of the reasons for people come in, encouraging them to come in at the yearly level, is one, they've come in, they've made the yearly payment, they've saved 20% on what it would have cost them if they just kept paying by the month. So they've saved 20%, and but they don't have that monthly payment every month. going out, so they're not having to face that, and that little let down, little discouraged doesn't come. It doesn't come as quickly, and they're pretty well locked in for the year, so they can you know they can stay, and then you know by the third, fourth, fifth month, people usually find that they're making enough money that it's they realize that they're not got rich yet, but they realize that there is a chance to actually turn the business into something and make something from it. So that's one of the reasons we encourage them to come in on a yearly level. A another reason, of course, Don and and Dave and Sandy, they all mentioned the fact that what happens when you're coming in at the yearly level, you don't have any more monthly payments going out, so everything coming in at that point goes in your pocket. It's it's you're profitable right off the bat, and actually, if you can be in a situation where you can follow some of our training videos and some of the things that we teach, you can actually sponsor people, within the first week or so. And every time you sponsor, as a Stifort member, every time you sponsor someone, you earn a sign up bonus. It's a one time bonus. It's a sign up bonus of $25. And what we try to encourage people to do is sponsor two people as quick as possible. Excuse me there. And when you sponsor two people, you've earned $50 because you've earned two $25 one-time bonuses. Uh, you're also going to be you qualify to earn a 50% matching bonus on these two people that you've sponsored. So everything they make from their matrix commissions in the future, you're going to earn 50% or total equal to 50% of whatever they earned. So if we can get in that, and I can show you some of the big numbers that get involved in there with that 50% matching bonus. The 50% matching bonus is actually the big money in Stifort. The matrix commission is a steady residual income. But you have to have a lot of people in your group to be able to to be making a lot of money. But if you have just just a few people making, you got if you have two people there that you sponsored and say each one of them makes $1,000 a month, then that's an extra $500 each that you're gonna get, which means you're gonna be making $1,000 too. So it that's why we like to encourage people to go ahead and sponsor at least two people. Fill your front row. Fill your first row. Your first row can hold two people, and that's what we want you to do. We have a video in the on the website there. It's also in the back office of your Stifort program there. It's called How to Sponsor Your First Two People in 24 to 48 Hours. When I first signed up with Stifort, I mean the very first day, I watched that. That's the first thing I did was I watched that video, and I learned a few tricks and a few lines from the fellow doing the video, and I just turned around and applied them. I'll be honest as I can be with you. Within the first 15, 30, 45 minutes, I had sponsored three people. I had, you know, and one of the things that we encourage people to come in at the yearly level about is when you sponsor three people, I mean, when you sponsor two people, you not only come in at the 3-star yourself, but if you've encouraged them, they duplicate what you did. They come in at the yearly level. Both of those come in at 3-star level. When you have two personally sponsored 3-star distributors, you qualify as a 4 star. And what's good about qualifying as a 4 star? 4 star, you get an extra bonus. You get a rank advancement bonus of $100. That's nice to have too. Uh, you can you can work yourself well up to 3 star by when you come in at a monthly level.
Mike,
Yes.
sorry to interrupt, but I have to go. I've it's been a long day. I was up at 4 o'clock this morning, and I'm starting to fade. You're not boring me, but I'm awful tired.
All right. We'll see you later. We'll talk to you later.
Talk to y'all later. Take care. God bless.
When you
So long, Dave.
when you I lost my train of thought. When you sign up as a yearly member, you qualify as a 3 star. You can work your way to a 3 star by signing up as a monthly member. But as a monthly member, to qualify as a 3 star, you've got to have well, first of all, to qualify as a 1 star, you've got to personally sponsor 2 people. Okay. Uh, and then to qualify as a 2 star, you've got to work with those 2 people to help them personally sponsor 2 people each. Or you can personally sponsor 12 people yourself and you become a 2 star. In order to become a 3 star, by working your way up through the ranks, you have to have those 2 people that you personally sponsored qualify as a 2 star, which means they each have to sponsor 2 people each. Uh, or you can personally sponsor 30 people. If you sign up as a yearly member, right from the get go, you qualify as a 3 star already, which means you don't have to sponsor anyone to be qualified as a 3 star. Uh, the benefits start coming in. Uh, First of all, as a 3 star, you you qualify to earn money in all 14 levels of your matrix. As a yearly member or unranked member, you qualify to only earn on the first 12 levels of the matrix. There's about $2,000 difference there in income. Overall, when you fill your 14 level matrix as a 3 star, you can earn up to $8,000 a month, and this residual income. Uh, there is a lot of reasons for qualifying as a 3 star and doing it the easiest way possible. But number one, rank advancement bonuses. I've been through them before. I'm run through them real quick. As a 3 star, if you sponsor 2 people and they come in at 3 star or yearly level, then you become a 4 star and you earn $100 bonus, rank advancement bonus. When those 2 people that you signed up as 3 stars, when they duplicate what you've done, when you teach them to do what you have done, and you do that by example, uh, they become 4 stars. They each sponsor 2 people who come in at the yearly level that are 3 star each, and therefore the first 2 people you sponsor become 4 stars. When they do that, you qualify as a 5 star, and you earn a $500 rank advancement bonus. Bonuses go on up; they go on up to a $500,000, and you simply get that by sponsoring those 2 people and originally and duplicating what you have done, teaching them to do what you have done. And one of the ways you teach them is you tie them in and engage them in the system. You engage them in the chat rooms. You engage them in these calls. Uh, you knew I'd come all the way back around to that, didn't you? But that's my main reason for teaching people to come in at the yearly level, either starting there or moving to the yearly level as quickly as they can, simply because it's money in their pocket that they're going to leave on the table if they don't. And one of my main goals, and I know y'all have heard it before, but one of my main goals is to help other people succeed in this business. The more people I can help succeed in this business, the more success I'll see for myself. I'm kind of greedy in that. Uh, anyway, has anybody got any questions or comments about that?
Yeah, I noticed when I signed up on the monthly level that you get more benefits if you come in at the yearly level as well.
Yep.
I mean, you can use more of the program, their software and stuff.
Yep. That's another point that we hadn't brought out yet, but yep, that's true too as well. And also, you like I said, you start qualifying for more money faster, more bonuses faster, more incentives. Also, as you if you get involved in some of the other programs we've talked about, like the mobile app program, the Skyfork mobile program, as a as a 3 star, then you start qualifying for more commissions, and actually, the higher you move in the rank, you qualify for even more commissions, and the it's easier to move up in ranks if you start off at the 3 star level. So
Yeah.
go ahead, Don. I know you got.
Don's gone.
No, Don didn't go.
No, I'm still here.
That was
Oh,
the other Dave that went.
okay, okay. I
Not
thought
to
it was
change the
Don.
subject, but I have a question for you, Dave. Do you prefer David or Brian?
It doesn't matter.
Well,
You can call
it
because
does.
you've got
It does to you're branding yourself, and that makes
Yeah,
a difference.
well, not yeah, I understand that. I'm listed as David on IBO, but being being that you got another Dave, you could call me Brian. It won't mix it up.
Well, when we talk about the other Dave, we usually refer to him as Reverend Dave.
Oh,
But
okay.
something you want to think about is picking a name that you can go with so you're recognized. That's a big mistake a lot of people make in branding themselves. Personal branding is having a different profile basically on every network they're on, and that confuses people.
Yeah, well, I'm not. I don't have a different name every network I'm on. I've been called David all my life, and that's what they know me as. All the people that know me in town, that's what they call me. So I guess David will be the one.
See, you're dealing in a whole new realm now. You're dealing in a global
Yeah.
atmosphere. That works at home because everybody knows you. But you want to personally brand yourself and get people to know you. You want to make it easy for them to do so and not confuse them.
Okay.
That's why I asked. I get confused. Do I call you David? Do I call you Brian? Which do you prefer?
Well, you can call me Brian. I'm going to do that.
You're going to go with Brian.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I'll start calling you Brian.
All right,
I'll
we'll
go
make note
edit
of
my.
that.
I'll go edit my IBO account, the only one I got, and put Brian up there.
There you go.
That'll work.
But
Kind of in line with what Don's talking about. Let me mention something. Just about every system you get on and anything like that, you have opportunity to set up a profile, just like you do in IBO. And your profile is extremely important when you're in the networking business, because that's how people know you. That's how they get to know you. And it's really, really important. Don mentioned it, but it's really important if you use, if nothing else, if you use the same profile picture and you use the same profile name on every place you set up a profile. Uh, a lot of people, and I know, and you see it a lot of times on Facebook, but Facebook, most people are not out building a business there. They're chatting and making friends, which is great. But and they change their profile picture almost daily. Um, when you're in business, you're branding yourself. You want people want to know that when they see that picture, they know that's David Bryan Mincy, and we know what he does, and they recognize you. You become recognized by that picture. So what you want to do is try to always use the same picture and use it unilaterally on every system that you're on. And I don't know.
Well, that's going to mess them up at IBO if I change my profile name. That's going to mess them up because I've been there for, I don't know, 6 months, I guess.
There's nothing wrong with you continuing to use David. If David is what you want, that's fine. We've got other Davids on the team too. Y'all are not the only two. Uh,
Yeah.
when I was when I was born, my mother named me Michael. The reason she named me Michael was because she said that there's hardly any other Michaels, and nobody else is named Michael. So she named me Michael. The whole time that I was in school, grammar school, I went in every class every year. There was the same five Michaels in the class. So it's you know the fact that your name's David, that's great. That's okay. But what we want to do is you want to nail it down. You don't want to keep swapping back and forwards or things like that. Like I said, as far as Rev Dave, we call him Reverend Dave because he is a ordained Reverend, uh, and we call him Rev Dave. Uh, so when we're being nice to him, uh, but anyway, your name being David is not going to confuse anything. We'll just have to make sure that when I say David, that I'll have to specify which David I'm talking about. But that's not a problem.
Right. Well, on Facebook, it's David Mincy. And on IBO, it's David Mincy. But when I went and filled out the stuff at Cyport, it asked for my full name.
Yeah.
So that's why it confused everybody. It's because my first name's Brian, but I go by David. So, you know.
Well, if you want to continue to go by David, since you've got it in other places too, I recommend that you stay with that. We just have to make sure that we know which David we're talking to when we talk. But that won't be a problem. But it's better off for you if you stay consistent there with the name that you use.
Yeah, well, the only reason, like I said, the only reason you all are getting confused is because they asked for my full name. You know?
Yeah, but that's all right. That's all right. We know now. Is anybody else here? We're approaching close to the end of the hour. I don't want to hold us all night here, so we did cover the subject there that I wanted to cover. That way, when other people, this call will be recorded, and it will be, or it is being recorded, and I'll post it up on the website. But and it'll always be, if it's not the main one posted there, it'll always be in the page called archives. And you if you have new members or things like that come in that have that particular question, want to know why should they choose option number 2, why should they choose the yearly level, then you'll be able to either answer the question or you'll be able to refer them over to this recorded call, and they'll be able to get that information too. There's actually a third level that you can come in and sign up, and you can upgrade to that level uh, if you want. But it's called the yearly plus level, and it qualifies you as a 3-star plus. Uh, I don't usually promote that real hard and heavy, but it is a good thing to do if you really want to do it. Because what happens is, if as a 3-star plus, you sponsor people. If you sponsor them and they come in as a 3-star plus, you earn an extra $25. So you not only get $25 bonus, you get a $50 sign up bonus. And if you're not at the 3 plus level, then the first person upline from you that is at the 3-star level will get that extra $25. So it's just that is an option. I don't really promote it too hard and heavy, but it is a good thing to do. It's a good way to go. Uh, but the reason I don't promote it real hard and heavy is because you could qualify as a 4-star. Uh, First day you're in the business, if you really get right down to it. If you'll go listen to that video, if you haven't listened to it, go listen to it. It's how to sponsor your first 2 people in 24 to 48 hours. If you sponsor, as soon as you sponsor 2 people and they come in at the yearly level, then you're qualifying as 4-star, which means you've already jumped past the 3-star plus. So you can move from 3-star to a 4-star, in the first day you're in, if you really try, or the first week or the first month. It's there, and it's available. Quite possible to do. Anyway, I'm gonna. It's 9 o'clock. I'm gonna call a quit to it unless somebody else has got something else they want to talk about. I'm always willing to talk. But if you don't, I want to tell you I appreciate everybody being here on the call tonight. We will be back again next Tuesday night. There is a webinar tomorrow night, Friday night at 10 o'clock, and again on at noon on Saturday, and Eastern time. I think everybody here is on Eastern time. So, um, but like I said, if anybody else has got anything they need to ask or talk about, I'll be glad to do it. Other than that, I'm gonna go ahead and close the call out. Say good evening, and we look forward to hearing you again on Tuesday.
Okay.
Okay, and I want to wish you a happy birthday, Mike, tomorrow.
Thank you.
Happy birthday, Mike. Happy birthday.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
God bless you.
Happy birthday, Mike.
Thank you. And we'll see everyone later. Good evening, and have a great night.
Good night. Thank you.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.